Now, partly the reason why I picked landscapes for this theme is because I think often it's quite a common one, and sometimes they can be seen as a bit boring, but I think sometimes if you learn the classic rules to art, then you can break them if you want to at later points. So I looked up what the actual definition of a landscape is, and it's sort of a landscape is a visible features of an area of land, landforms, and how they integrate with nature and man-made features. So a landscape can be varied as farmland, a landscape can be a park, or it can be wilderness. So in my idea, yes, it is often nature and hills and things like that. However, I think a landscape can also be, you know, if you sort of lower your view and look at your tabletop, I think that's a landscape, isn't it? Because it's a large expanse of an area. I think also a landscape can be like an urban landscape. It doesn't have to always be something natural and traditional. So one of the things that I'd like from this workshop is for us all to, even including me, to try and come with an open mind and challenge any preconceptions. So just sort of be a bit mindful and live in the moment. Okay, so each section will be maybe 5 to 15 minutes long. So if you're not enjoying something, don't worry. The next section you might like better. So we're going to do a variety of activities very loosely around landscapes. And if you like an activity particularly, you can carry it on in your own time. So the warm-up activity. So, it's very important for you to feel good about yourself. So make sure you're sitting in a comfortable chair. If you need to have a little wiggle, shake your fingers out, make sure you've got a drink, just be super comfortable. You know, if you're in an itchy cardigan, you're not going to enjoy it. You're going to be thinking about that. So it's very important to feel comfortable. Okay, so the first activity is going to be, we're going to draw our view from our window, but we're only going to use geometric shapes. So I'm going to show you an example. So look out of your window and try and view it for the first few seconds, just in break everything down to a basic shape. So if you see a tree that's like a conifer shape, that could be a basic triangle. So we're just going to take a few seconds just to look out the window. Okay, and and break everything down to super simple shapes. Try not to see too much detail, too much texture. Okay, so I'm going to send you some views. I've got 2 window views if you want to use those instead, if you haven't got a window view that you can see. There's one. Hopefully you can all see that. That should be in the chat now. Great, I'm going to send you another one now. Okay, great. Okay, and then I'm going to just show you an example of what I was thinking of. No, not there. Okay. So I've done the view from my window, and I've just broken it down to really simple shapes. So I would like you to use flat colour and block if you're going to use colour, but you're going to break it down to really, really simple shapes. So that's my view out of my window. So we're just going to warm up with that. So hopefully everyone can see the images that I've already sent. And I'm going to start with the window frames first. Currently with Angela. Is it Angela? Yeah, Angela.
Sorry, a bit late.
No problem. Thank you. Lovely to see you.
Yeah,
at the moment, we're doing a warm-up exercise. We've just got a few minutes. We're looking at the view from our window and drawing in a very...
you on mine.
Can you say that again, Angela?
Nice sunshine. Really
Oh,
hot
it's
out
too
there.
bright. Okay. Okay, I can show you a card of Venice, and you can use that quickly to be your picture. Bear with me.
Wow.
Okay, so there's an image there of Venice, and if you want to use that, you can use that as your reference. So we'll just do a few minutes of that. So we're just doing some really basic geometric shape drawings of this landscape. So like this sort of style. So we're really breaking it down to just simple shapes. Okay.
No, I can't get anything.
But you can hear us though. I'm really confused by that.
I can hear us, I can hear you and see the small icons, but I can't, on the side, but I can't see the screen. I can't see the whole screen. It's really
Is there a little icon with 4 boxes in a box within a box? That's you can see gallery view if you click on that.
Yeah, it's. I seem to have lost part of the screen.
You might need to
pull it. I'm going to try and disconnect and connect up again.
No problem.
Good plan.
I can get rid of it.
We'll see you in a couple of seconds.
See you in a bit. Oh, that's so frustrating. Technology.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Strange road.
I can still see everyone. Oh God, this is driving me mad.
Helen, is it you having the problem?
Yeah.
Are you trying to leave the meeting?
I'm trying to leave the meeting. I can't even leave the meeting.
Are you on a laptop?
No, I'm on a big iMac.
On a big. If you go to the bottom right of your screen, you know where the chat is, and if you go down to the bottom, and you should see a little thing come up with chat and mute.
All that's gone.
Oh.
All I'm seeing are the individual icons.
If you bring your mouse right to the bottom of the screen, just see if the bar pops up.
I get next page, and all the individual people, yeah, but nothing. The rest of the screen's completely disappeared, and I can't seem to leave it.
Usually at the very bottom, you'll see an end.
Yeah, I haven't got it. The whole lot is now vanished, apart from something saying "Talking Helen Melvin," and that's all.
I'm just going to put you in the waiting room, Helen. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm really.
Okay, everyone, we'll just have one more minute on our geometric shape window view.
You're back.
Is it sorted?
You're back. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Sorry.
No problem. I'm glad you persevered. You're very welcome. Oh, good. Okay, excellent. We'll just have one more minute on this area, and then we'll all together do the next bit. Okay, everyone. So if you're happy, I'm nowhere near completing mine. If you're happy, we can show your warm-up activity of your geometric shape window view. If you're not, don't worry about it. It's absolutely fine. Oh, lovely. Thank you. Fantastic. Wow. My God, you were quick. Jeez.
It's really quick.
That was amazing. Thank you. I think if you've got some time, that is wonderful. Wow. If you've got some time later, you might want to fill in those blocks, maybe with some watercolor or a really flat color. It will really, and you could even add some shadow around the edges. It will really, it will make your scene. It's a new way of looking at an old view. That was the idea of this theme. Okay, so I'm going to show you, I'm going to try and draw sideways now, and I'm going to use this Sharpie, so hopefully you'll be able to see. Okay, so one of the classic things about landscape is the horizon, and when you adjust so the horizon is the sort of line about maybe 3/4 up your landscape, and landscapes are always, well, usually when your paper is horizontal rather than vertical. So the horizon is usually about 2/3 of the way up, and it goes straight across. And the way that we sort of create depth and create space so that it looks like, it takes your 2D picture into something that looks like you could travel through it, is by sort of changing where the vanishing line goes. So you can experiment with triangular shapes from your horizon line down to the bottom of your picture to create different sorts of pathways and things, and it gives the idea that something else will go off into the distance. So you can add trees to this, or the sun, or mountains, or buildings. But the more you experiment with where these lines go and how far apart these sort of triangular shapes are, the more you will create different types of distance and different types of angles. So this would be your vanishing point, your sort of horizon line. And the front part of your picture, the base, would be your foreground. So you might want some rocks here, or I don't know, a hat might have fallen. So if this was a photograph, these bits would often be in focus, and then as the picture goes back, then things get less and less detailed. So you want the most detail usually at the front, and then as things go back, it gets a little bit more sketchy and a little bit less detailed and a bit less defined. So if you're using a pencil, you might want to not press quite as hard. So foreground, I'm going to try and write sideways. Will it be backwards on your screen? Let's find out. Foreground. Yeah, it's backwards. Is that backwards? Foreground. Foreground. Midground would be the middle of your picture. So often people leave the midground a bit empty because sometimes it can be quite cluttered. Then we've got a horizon, and then the background of your picture, which is often the sky if you're doing a traditional landscape. But within this workshop, we are going to sort of experiment with what a landscape really is, and we can define it however we want. So thinking about space and horizons, what we're going to do is we're going to take an item. If you've got an item on your table already, that's great. If you haven't, that's no problem. So you can just see that. You can use this item here. And what we're going to do is at the foreground of our picture at the front, we're going to draw this item. And as we draw it, we're going to draw it slightly smaller, going off into the distance to create a sort of Eiffel Tower glass landscape. I think this is supposed to put vinegar in it. I never have.
We've got a question there.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just that when you put things on your left side of the screen, it goes right where the four people are, so I can't see it. It's when you put it in the middle on the left side. You see what I mean?
No, not at all. But yes, I can put it in the middle.
Yeah, no, but I mean, always when it's on your left, it's where the pictures are on my.
Oh, I see. Oh, you can make me the spotlight, so I'm the only one, and you don't have to see anyone else.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the speaker view. That should be.
Yeah.
If you click on speaker view instead of gallery view.
Yeah. Yeah, because what's on my screen should always just be the same as what's on your screen. But I can put that in the middle there, yeah. Okay, great. Okay, so we'll have, so I would start with the first one, the biggest one, right at the foreground of your picture. And then as we go back, we will draw them slightly smaller. So I'm going to start with a pencil just to faintly work that out, how I want it to look.
Hi, Mom.
Hello, darling. Okay, and as I always say, try and do more looking than drawing, because it's so tempting and easy to make assumptions. Now, if you're drawing an item on your own table rather than my item, try and keep your position the same, because it would be very easy to change the perspective, and unless you want more of an abstract sort of Picasso, looking at something from various angles. But if you want it to look how it, you know, you want to keep some continuity, try and remain in the same place where possible. Okay. Okay, so my first one I've just roughly sketched out, and it's so big that it's coming off the screen. So the next one I would like to have, I plan to have the whole thing in, and it's going to be just slightly smaller, and then I'm going to go off smaller in that direction off the screen in a diagonal line. Okay. So I've just plotted in my second shape, and as the next one, as I start to do the third shape, which will be slightly smaller than the second one, it will have slightly less detail as well, sort of to give the impression that it's getting slightly out of focus. Also, in the West, we read left to right, so I want the object on the right to be the most in focus and have the most detail. So then after I've plotted them all out, I will add more detail and more shading to this one, and then gradually less as it goes on. Okay, spend another 5 to 7 minutes on this, if that's okay. If you need a bit longer or shorter, please let me know. Okay, so I'm starting my third one now. So as your item gets smaller, I want you to use less pressure on your drawing implement, maybe even bring your hand up slightly so that you've got less dexterity and less strength, so that you can do more sort of fluid, softer movements, and that will give the impression of a little bit less detail and a little bit more, it'll be a little bit more out of focus. So, and I'm a big fan of repetition, because I think when you look at an item multiple times and draw it multiple times, you'll learn things about it. You'll see things that you won't have seen before, and also you'll learn about your technique. You'll know, you know, I noticed that I always leave hands till the last when I'm drawing portraits, because I hate them, and it's really, they're hard, and you have to think about science and anatomy and how things connect more. And I'd rather be more fluid and creative. So it sort of helps you ask questions about yourself and how you're feeling that day and things like that. So we'll just spend, how long have we got? 3 more minutes on this. However, if you'd like longer, please let me know. Okay, just 1 more minute then. And if you want to, you can even add a horizon line to give it even more of a 3D feel. So you could add some extra detail like trees or anything, whatever your imagination, whatever pops into your imagination. Remember to have your vanishing point coming off the page so that it makes the eye consider what else is happening beyond the page and gives it a lot more depth and space. Okay. Thank you very much. So that was a different version of a landscape that we've sort of created ourselves as well, which is quite apt at the moment, because we're sort of spending a lot more time at home, and you can make your own little mini worlds if you want to. Okay, so you might need a new piece of paper or turn over to the back of an old piece of paper. So now we're going, oh yes, can we all show our work? Yes, of course. Oh wow, ooh, that's a lovely gradient. These are fab. Really, oh wow, I like those pots. Denise, you're so fancy. Excellent. The really nice take on the same brief. I'm so nosy. I love seeing other people's work. This is fabulous. Oh, very cute. Henry, is that a robot? Ah, is that a chef? Is he a chef? Oh, he's so cute. Brilliant work. Really good. Yours was very gradual. Mr. Erd. Oh, I've heard of him. He's so cool. Yeah, that's really nice.
I think that was really Mr. Erd, was it, Henry?
Mr. Erd.
Mr. Erd?
Yeah.
It's a Welsh thing, Jamila. We have you heard of the Eisteddfod?
No.
No problem.
Okay.
There's lots of them, and they happen. Well, they don't happen now, unfortunately, but they normally happen every year. And during this week is the week of the National Eisteddfod. So children all over Wales will have been preparing all year and getting everything perfect for the Eisteddfod. So it's singing competition, drama, singing, reciting, everything.
That's
There's
so
art
wonderful.
competition, sports competitions. So Mr. Mae'r is the mascot for the Eisteddfod. So nice to see him. Cheers, Henry.
Oh, thank you, Henry. You're so good. I love that. That's really nice to learn. I'm gonna research it afterwards. Okay, that's really good. And you've done really gradual. Yours were. That's a lot of patience, Henry. Really nice. Okay, so this activity, I just read it and I've forgotten it already. Oh yes, what we're going to do is we're going to be quite imaginative. I'm going to show you this image. I'm going to also send it via the chat. Hopefully you'll be able to get it, but if you can't, I can prop it up so that you can see this image here. And we're going to imagine what it would look like from an aerial view. So it will be really simple. So like the top of this tree, you wouldn't see the branch. This
show it in the middle of the screen. Otherwise, you can't see
this tree here. We wouldn't see what is this called? The trunk anymore. We'd just see the top. We just see the top, and that would be possibly a circular or an oval shape. So we're going to be really imaginative with this image here, and see and imagine what the aerial view would look like. So what I'm going to do now is send you some images, send you this image and some other aerial images as an example, so that you can have a look at those. And if not, I will show you on my iPad. And so here's some aerial images I'm going to show you first. This one is like a countryside landscape, and another one that's a little bit closer down, so you can see the shapes of the fields and things like that. And this one is the one I'm sending, the third one is more of an urban one. Yeah. And now I'm going to send this image from my book to you as well. So you should hopefully be able to view them all in the chat. Maybe download them if that's easier for you. Okay. So while you're looking at that, I will work out a way to best prop it up so you can see what's happening. Oh, maybe I can pop it on here and then I'll just draw down there. That might be easier. Ooh, look. Up here for thinking, down there for dancing. Okay. So there we go. There we go. Is that a bit? Okay. Better. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is show you these aerial views as well, in case you can't see them on your computers. So this is an aerial view of, I think it's the Amazon actually, yeah. So we're going to be really imaginative and try and envision this picture from an aerial view. This one isn't quite from the top, this is slightly at an angle, this one here. And you can see that it's not completely flat at all, but it's really, like you can see the contours and the different shades of green, and this one's slightly yellowy as well. So, and there's a cityscape, again, not from totally like overhead slightly at an angle. So we're going to use this image here and imagine what this looks like. And in the background of this picture is a small house, and there is a church as well. So consider what buildings would look like. There'd be a lot less organic, a lot more geometric shapes. Okay, bring that a bit closer. Okay. So we're just going to spend 5 minutes on this, and we're going to imagine what this aerial view looks like. If you've got colour, that might be quite interesting. Think about this path. This path here at the moment, it's we're looking at it with the vanishing point and the horizon, and it's making that triangle we talked about earlier. But from an above view, that will just be a straight path. Okay, and we won't see the sky at all. We'll just see the land. So 5 minutes on this, please. 1 more minute.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. I didn't really like that because I couldn't see you guys. I felt very disconnected from you all. Thank you for taking part with that. I've never done that one before, but I thought it was a good way. Oh my God, that's amazing. I love that contorting, Sean. Oh, wow. Angela, I love those little marks. Really cool. The roof on that, Henry, well thought out. Yeah, that's a really, these are brilliant. These are really, it's like you really have to sort of switch your brain around. That's nice. Oh, wow. Thank you so much. I really love that one. That was really fun. I really enjoyed that. Okay, great. Okay, because I'm a big fan of repetition and like learning from previous experiences, I would like us to draw the view from our window again. Or if you couldn't see that view, or you didn't fancy that view, like Angela's, it's too bleached out and bright. I'm going to put this Venice this card up again, which my friend sent me. And I love a little bit of snail mail. It was a lovely surprise, and she put loads of nice things in the package as well. So this is very, very nice for me. And I would like you to draw this scene or a scene of your choice 4 times, a quad. So we're going to split our paper. You don't have to, I'm going to do mine so you can see it with this red Sharpie. So we're going to go landscape again. We're going to go traditional with the format, so like that rather than vertical. And each quarter of your image is going to be a representation of this image in different seasons. So you can do it in any order you like. I'm going to start with spring, summer, autumn and winter. And we're going to go for sort of a tradition, like a British seasons where they're a little bit more dramatic. So I'm going to send you some reference images on the chat again. And if you can't see them, don't worry, because I'm going to show them on the iPad too. So we're going to think about not just what's happening in the sky, because in the winter it's a little bit darker, but we're also going to be thinking about what's growing in your scene. What does your garden look like? My garden's particularly barren in the winter. I don't know anything about plants, so I don't know how to, but the conifers are still there. It might be a bit more, in the spring it might be a bit more dewy and a bit more damp, so there might be, you might want to put like glistening bits on your trees if you have any, because it's a bit more damp and dewy. Winter, there could be snow, you might want to put a snowman. Think about what other things are also in that space. Like in the summer, you might hang the washing out a bit more, or you might leave deck chairs out and things like that. So this is quite an imaginative piece, because you're going to really have to envision and remember how this space would usually look. Now, if you're using this image, you might not be able to see some of these buildings because you've covered them in snow, or I mean, there's trees in the background of this picture, so maybe they've got no leaves on them. Maybe we can just see the branches. So I'm going to show you the images on my phone for those who might not be able to download the pictures from the chat. And there you go. So there's the picture of the same location at different times of the year. So the colours are changing, the way the plants look, the shadows change as well, because in the summer the sun is higher. So so there's the shadows are a little bit more dramatic, a little bit more thinner. So there's a lot of factors to consider, and obviously you don't have to consider them all. Here's an illustration as well of the same area, so it's a bit more simple. Okay, so so you're either using the view that we used originally in our warm-up exercise, or you're using this image here, or maybe an image in your own imagination. Okay, so put that fell over. Oh, there we go. Is that okay? There you go. Okay, we'll spend 15 minutes, maybe longer. I pick really short activities because I want you to make quick decisions. I want you to not get too in your head and go, oh, I don't like it. You just, go with it. Okay, go. So I've started in my first quarter is spring, and I've just really loosely plotted in the shapes because I like to very lightly draw in what I want and then think about, do I like the perspective? Is that the right angle I want to look at it from? And so there's just a little bit of growth on the bed, flower bed. So in my next one, I think there's going to be, because it's going to be summer, spring, summer, there's going to be more flowers and there's going to be drawings on the fence, because in the summer we spend a bit more time outside and we might draw with chalk or with water pistons on the fence. And I've tried to put a little bit of a vanishing point there in this corner here, just to give it a little bit of depth, but there's a lot of foreshortening there. So keep asking yourself questions as you're drawing. Yes, yeah. Don't forget to think about where your light would be hitting, where shadows would be, where, you know, as the seasons go on, items from your view might get a bit more worn, they might look a bit older, or you might have replaced them completely, you know, so try and create a narrative for each picture. Narrative is another word for story. Bye. Don't forget to pull back from your pictures and look at them from different angles, because it's really easy to get really focused in and not look at the bigger picture literally. you might make some different decisions when you look at it from different views. Okay, we've got about another 7 minutes and I'm going to move on to my autumn picture, which I'm quite excited about because there'll be loads of rusts and reds and golds in this one. And I've decided to not add colour to the same elements on each picture. I've made mine's very abstract. But what's brilliant about art is you can't be wrong. So and all the plants have died in this one. Or resting. That's a more positive attitude, isn't it? They're resting for next year. 2 more minutes. I'm going to confess to you all that I am nowhere near finishing. So I will finish mine after the session. So I said I'd make quick decisions, and I encouraged you to, and I haven't been quick enough in my decision making. Okay, I've stopped. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hold on a second. Okay. Do we want to show each other?
We're doing winter. Have we supposedly done winter already?
I haven't started winter. I'm still on autumn. However, if you want to, we can finish it. You can finish it later on in your own time, because I was not quick enough. Oh wow! Yeah. Oh, I love those mark making, Angela. Yeah. Really nice. It's hard, isn't it? There's a lot of forethinking you've got to do with this activity. Oh, those are really cool. Ooh, Sean, I love those. Ooh, very sparing with your mark making. I love it. Oh, there's mine. I'm nowhere near finished. Nowhere near. I'm still plotting things out and then going, oh, but I didn't put the roof in there. So yeah, I did not stand by my own words. Okay, so for the final activity, we are going to be a bit imaginative again, actually. We're going to imagine what the rest of an image looks like. So we're going to sort of go beyond the screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this one here. Where's it gone? So somebody's taken a photo from a magazine and then they have extended the image. So I'm going to put a picture up for you guys to use. However, if you've got a magazine in the house or a picture already in your house that you want to use, you can do that. So this is a lovely, colourful picture that from a postcard that my friend sent me. So bear with me a second. I'll put it on. I'll put it on there. So ignore the background there. So I'm living on the edge a bit here because my computer needed charging, but it was too risky, so I've charged it now. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the ideas that we've talked about already in this section, section, and think about horizon and space and foreground, background, and we're going to pull them all together and use them to create extra space that would be here. So maybe there's an ice cream van here, or there's some people using the beach, or you can bring the picture forward and we can see what's happening in front of these. What are these called? Like holiday sort of sheds that you get changed in and stuff on holiday. I think this was from Cornwall. You could even go up see what's happening in the sky. There could be things flying above, birds, be as imaginative. So what we're going to do is we're going to extend this image, or any image that you so choose. So we're going to be really creative, and I've picked another landscape image, because I want you to think about vanishing lines and space and perspective and foreground and midground and background. The foreground of this picture is the sand here, the midground is the little buildings, and then the background is the sky. But we can extend that a bit more if you so wish. So that, yeah. Oh, I've prattled on too long. 9 minutes. I keep losing my pencil. If you notice on this picture, on this end, they're slightly bigger and they're getting slightly smaller because of the perspective, like what we did with the drawing the object several times. So it's just demonstrating that the size of things can create space and depth as well as shading and perspective. Yeah. I've decided to add a palm tree to mine. I've transformed my picture from Cornwall to somewhere a little bit more tropical.
Hi, Barbara.
Oh, just so you know, we can hear you. Who's that we can hear? Denise, you need to mute yourself. Oh, can we mute her? Have you did it, Sinead? Thank you. She might say something very personal. She doesn't want Zoom to know.
We can mute participants sometimes. Sometimes the buttons don't work. Don't know why.
Oh.
But they're all good.
The technology. It's our friend and our foe. Don't forget your shading. With shading, it helps things look a little bit more grounded, less flat. Gives it some depth and texture. And sometimes you don't even have to use a different material. You can just have your lines just a bit closer together. Three minutes. I just did 3 minutes, but I held up 4 fingers. 3 minutes. Okay, so you've got 1 minute left, so make some bold decisions. Any texture you wanted to add? Someone's been digging a hole on my beach, so I've been doing that. I'm gonna add some sky. Be bold. What's the worst thing that can happen? And when is anything really truly finished anyway? You could even allow, if you live with anyone, you could allow them to finish it off for you or add any extra details. I think that's quite a freeing thing to do, because it forces you to be not so precious. And they might make decisions that you quite like and that you might take into your own practice. Okay. Pens down, or pencils, or watercolours, or whatever you chose to use. Let's have a look at your extended images, please. If you're happy to, no pressure if you're not. Oh, I've got so much stuff today. Okay. Oh wow! Ah, I love all the colour. Oh, that's mine. Oh, I'm definitely adding colour to mine. I'm jealous. That's so cool. I love it. Yay! Oh, boats as well. I didn't even think about adding boats. Whoa. Oh, you've got a bucket and spade as well. Really nice. That's really cool. So what you can do, if you decide, if you like this activity, you can cut out a picture from a magazine or something, stick it in the middle of your paper and then draw from it, and then you'll even have all the perspectives already mapped out for you, and it's a good way of practicing. So, oh, you did 2. Did you do 2? Denise? Oh, you did that one. Ah, oh, nice lines coming forward. Yes, that's really cool. In such a short space of time as well. Okay. Oh, okay, I'm a bit sad. Thank you so much, everybody. Sinead's put a link to some feedback and thank you for the people that have come more than once, and thank you to all the newcomers, because it is here in Shrewsbury. It's a really nice day, so to come and spend 90 minutes with us is wonderful, and I've really enjoyed myself, and I feel very privileged that this is my job, and I hope you've all learned something, and you're going to carry on being creative and kind to ourselves and enjoy the process as well as the outcome. So thank you very much. Thank you, Helen.
Thank you.